Hey, what's going on? It is the ManFUzed podcast. I am Kay Lee, audio producer, voice artist, host, and my co-host, real estate broker, Ben H.
Making it happen.
That's what he does.
It goes up, it goes down, I go straight.
What about the reach around? A little reach around in there? A little good game?
Depends.
All right.
On the commission.
The things we'll do for money. Hey, today on the ManFUzed podcast, we're going to talk about our new ManFUzed clothing line. Ben H has been hard at work creating all this ManFUzed gear. And we'll give a shout out to a listener in the UK. And then we're going to talk about next level spying. You know how you talk about something with a friend, maybe mutter it to yourself, and then you go on Google, and then all of a sudden, there's an ad. Well, Amazon took some next level tactics on my ass.
Did they?
And I want to talk about that. I should shut everything off right here. And we'll talk about this prisoner swap between Brittany Griner and the Merchant of Death, aka Lord of War.
I've got a Christmas movie question. Why do so many Christmas movies have to do with dads that don't spend time with their kids?
Is that a common theme amongst dads?
It's just something that I thought
What,
about.
like Elf?
Elf, for example. Yeah, and there's a lot of other. I mean, even the Christmas Story, the dad was kind of a problem. You know what I mean?
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see him throwing ball with his kid. And
Yeah.
when his kid got in a fight,
Right.
got his ass kicked and then kicked the dude's ass. There was no father-son bonding moment.
Not really.
Except at the end when they went to Chinese food dinner and they cut the head off of the turkey right there.
Exactly.
Then we're going to talk about Brittany Griner has been released from the Russian camp that she was being held at, and she was prisoner swapped with the Lord of War. If you've never seen the movie with Nicolas Cage and Jared Leto, that's what that movie was based on, was the guy that the U.S. just gave up. But first, we have to give a shout out.
Yes.
A shout out to our listener. Her name is Hannah. What up, Hannah?
What up, Hannah?
She is in the UK. Ben and I were talking about this because we just released and have been upgrading our merch store.
That's right.
Ben H, got to give him super props because he is working behind the scenes, creating the merch store and all the merch in it.
It's fun because it's like a creative process. You know what I'm saying?
You like that.
I love anything that's like a creative process. So it's kind of frustrating in the beginning. I'm still learning how to use the tools, but I love the design aspect of it and just trying to create an aesthetic. It'll be a cool shirt or a cool hat, regardless of what it says.
Right.
This is like a brand that you can think of that you would like to wear. You don't know who owns the company of the surf clothing. It doesn't matter. It's just a cool shirt.
It's just cool.
It's just a cool hat.
Right.
Cool.
Especially with the big FU on it.
And I'm loving the hoodies.
Yeah, they are pretty dope.
The hoodies are coming out fire.
Hannah reached out to me on Instagram and was like, hey, what's up, guys? Saying that she loves the show and that she wanted to order something, but shipping to the UK was pretty pricey. Ben and I talked, and we were like, you know what? We're just going to send her a shirt.
Yeah, we're like, dude, so cool that she reached out. And even it was the subject of the conversation was the 1-star review. She thought that was funny.
And be an awesome shirt.
And was like, I would buy the shirt. And we're like, well, dude, we're making the shirt. We'll send you one.
I was like, what's your size? Give me your address. They're still in production. I'll have them soon. I'll send you one. Don't worry about it. And she refused.
Right.
And I went back and forth. I said, just let us do it.
Yeah.
She said, I should be supporting you guys. And I said, not necessary. What's your shirt size? And went back and forth. And she said, I just went ahead and did it. So Hannah, you rock. She's going to tag us when she gets the merch.
You know what? This just gave me an idea. What if I did a little tag that said the number 4, and then Hannah? And we did that on all the review shirts. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be cool.
Maybe a little postage stamp.
That'd be fun.
Well, I just love that she loved it.
And if you don't know what we're referring to, it was subject of our last podcast that we were celebrating that we got our first 1-star official review on Apple Podcasts. We were 5 stars up until November 26th.
Bummer.
Inappropriate and misogynistic. Jaw dropped. We're here to drop jaws.
Dude, since birth.
Yeah, that's right. Dropping jaws since birth.
Sorry.
We apologize. So thank you, Hannah, once again for your support. ManFUzed merch, you can hit up the episode description of any one of our episodes, get the link. I also do need to add that to our site. It is not on our site yet.
Well, I like calling it gear. ManFUzed Gear.
Merch sounds like we're peddling a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, like get your writing pens and your
I need to change
plastic
that.
cups.
I will make that edit on our episode description. ManFUzed Gear.
Yeah, gear.
Gear sounds like tactical.
I love the aesthetic of gear too.
Yeah.
Just like you're saying, tactical. It's like it has a use.
Yeah, it's gonna shield you out in the field.
That's right. It's a Swiss Army knife of
clothes. It's got science behind it and technology.
It's gear.
It's gear. Right. It's created with science and technology and brawn.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Shield you when you get attacked by a bear.
That's right.
Or a cockfight.
Well, dude, I mean, I was a skater as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
I mean, I was good. I'm still good. I transitioned to the longboard in my late 20s, basically, because it just became an obsession for me to carve big hills. And we got into putting the gloves on with the hockey pucks. I've been skating since I could walk. Learned how to skateboard when I was 4. Been skating ever since. So, that's kind of the theme.
Give Rocket Man a plug. When I was hanging out with Rocket Man over Thanksgiving, we went to Ron John's surf shop, which is huge there. They had some badass, like completely clear longboards.
I would go clear, and I'd probably go 2 pink wheels and 2 bright blue wheels.
Yeah, you would. All right, so moving on. Spied On by Amazon. Let me paint the picture. A year and a half back, I had to, unfortunately, spend $8,000 putting in a storm-type drain. It's almost like commercial. 6-inch smooth-walled pipe, not corrugated.
PVC?
PVC. 200 feet from one end of my property, diagonal to the other end.
Right.
With a 100-pound, it looks like a manhole cover, but it's square. You couldn't give it enough water.
Right.
I mean, it flows out of that tube at a fast pace.
Yeah.
I've had no problem.
But if it clogs up, your basement will flood.
Correct.
So therefore, if it clogs and doesn't drain,
it's a possibility.
So this is of imminent importance.
At the time, had a week of forecasted rain. We haven't seen the sun in 60 days.
Atlanta's the new Seattle.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. The rate of suicide is about to go up just because of how gloomy it is.
Yeah,
You wake up and go, why? Why bother? How's life, Ben? Taken forever. That's how it makes you feel.
That's right.
Anyway, I look out my window a week ago. This is how I get my money's worth. I like watching the water get eaten by this drain.
Yeah.
I love it because that's the only satisfaction I get out of spending $8,000.
Right.
And knowing my basement isn't going to flood. But I look down there and it's the first time the grate is underwater. I can't see it.
Wow.
Something is clogging up. There could be something anywhere in that 200
And that's
feet.
so frustrating too, man, because it's not something that you can just do. If it's clogged and it's a 200-foot line, you're either talking about figuring out where the clog is, digging down and cutting the line and replacing it, or you've got to blast it out.
So I started calling places, and these assholes want $1,000 to $1,600
to blast it out.
Right.
Dude, I'm in the wrong business.
2 guys are like this: $650 for the first hour.
Yeah.
$350 for the second. 2-hour minimum. I said, well, what if it takes you 10 minutes? He goes, $1,000.
How much is the third hour?
Well, I didn't ask. So I said, the hell with that. I called another place. They didn't even give me a 2-hour minimum. Most places wouldn't give me the price over the phone. They want to charge me $80 to come out here to give me an estimate.
But they'll take it off against it
if I use them.
Yeah.
So I start looking up what hydrojetting is, and basically hydrojetting, it's like an enhanced pressure washer, where most pressure washers will put out like 3,500 PSI or like 2,500 to 3,500 PSI. Their machines are pushing out about 5,500 PSI.
Wow.
That means this shit can cut through wood, cut through metal.
Dang.
I find how to turn a pressure washer into a hydrojetter. So Amazon sells everything you would need to turn your pressure washer into the hydrojetter. And basically what you're doing is you're attaching the however much hose to the end of your pressure washing gun, and they have special tips that shoot out in all angles, and then you could feed the hose in and then use your pressure washer wand to power out whatever the clog is. The problem was Amazon didn't have a same-day delivery. I don't want to wait till Wednesday is when they said they could ship it.
Right.
So this was on Friday. I found out what all they had in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it my mission on Saturday.
You went on a treasure hunt.
I went to 3 different places, dude. I went to Harbor Freight, I went to Northern Tools, and I went to Home Depot.
Wow.
And I could not put together what Amazon offered. And a hose at Home Depot for like 40 feet, $90. I could get the kit on Amazon for $60 for everything.
It's insane how much some things cost now. I mean, everything has gone up. But dude, I went to Office Depot to buy some yellow pads the other day. $30 for 2 of them, bro.
You got 2 yellow pads for $30?
No. Hell no, I didn't. I haven't reloaded yet.
I'm upset. I wasted half my day looking for this shit, and I couldn't even put it together at any of these stores. So I go home. Well, if Wednesday is the soonest I can get it, let me just look on Amazon, and maybe I'll just go ahead and buy this just in case. I go on Amazon, and lo and behold, the kit is now offered same day. Get it by 10 p.m. tonight.
They knew that you wanted it that day because you had spoken about it.
I had been on their website looking at it one time.
Yeah. If you're tracking the people that are on your site, somebody goes, it's a 3-day delivery, they don't buy, then they're looking elsewhere for the stuff. Let's see if we can offer it to him for today delivery.
And if he'll bite. So I get home. Whoa, there's no way I missed this on my first search.
Yeah.
It was not available.
Yeah.
Add it to my cart. Same day between 5 and 10. It's like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. 9 p.m., I get an email saying that the delivery is delayed and I will have it by 8 a.m. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get out and it's dark. I'm not going to get out and do anything with it right now. Do you think I had it at 8 a.m., Ben?
Hell no.
No, I didn't have it at 8
No, they
a.m.
hooked you.
What day do you think it got here?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Exactly how it said originally that it would.
Now, I could have canceled at any time, which was my right, but that is some super tactical marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, they got me. I ended up hiring somebody. I ended up getting it done for like $800. And what was clogging my storm drain? When this dude came out and pumped 5,500 PSI, the head of this hose they called the Warthog.
Dang.
It looked like a medieval mace without the spikes.
Right.
And when he put it in the drain, he had a remote that he could change the RPMs from the truck. The hose just took off.
Wow.
Like a snake, just started like going towards its target.
That's crazy.
And then when it stopped, pull it out a little and then let it go again. Pull it out a little, rev up the RPMs and let it go again. It started draining and then started kicking back and filling back up. And I went to the exit and he must have cranked the RPMs because what came out next was vile.
Oh, what was it?
This bloated carcass out of the tube of a groundhog.
Oh, man, that's disgusting.
And, dude, then the water started pouring out.
Like Mount Vesuvius.
And the smell of dead animal hit on both sides of the pipe. It was gross. It was real gross. It was real gross. Jeff Bezos, no wonder why you're a billionaire.
Dude, marketing is so important. I mean, marketing is everything. When you really drill down to that level of marketing where you're being listened to, you're being tracked, and we are being listened to, and we're being tracked. It's like everyone knows that their cell phone is listening to them. Apparently, it's listening to you even when it's turned off. And your words are dictated into text.
Transcribed.
And then within those words, if you say things that trigger certain products or certain desires or maybe timelines or whatever it may be, then they're going to connect those words or phrases with the phrases or words that said advertiser is paying to use.
I'm addicted to buying adult toys.
You will, yeah, watch what comes up.
Well, right now.
I don't know if that works, though, honestly.
Yes, it will. I guarantee
will?
there will be adult toys all on my marketing now.
Oh, no.
I like huge dildos. That's what I think about 24/7.
It's a coming out of Kaylee.
That is what I have a whole closet full of adult toys. Take that, Amazon.
God. Take that, Amazon.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the service called Magic?
No.
Magic. It's an invite-only service. They get you whatever you want, wherever you are, whenever you want it. And there's a cost that comes with it.
When you say anything,
Anything.
is it based in Atlanta?
It's everywhere in the world.
Never heard of it.
It's insane, dude.
Have you ever used it?
Yeah, I have it.
Is there an app?
No, it's just a text. They
What
give
have
you a
you
phone number.
used it for?
All kinds of shit, dude.
Like what?
Liquor. I need 3 bottles of Camus delivered to me wherever I am. I mean, I've had wine delivered to me in the Bahamas. I've had wine delivered to me in Italy, Costa Rica.
How much do they charge for this service?
It depends on what it is you're getting, where you are. They tell you up front what the fee is going to be.
So give me an example. 3 bottles of wine delivered to wherever you are.
I think I've paid $30 to $80.
Service charge.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you known about this?
Years.
Is this a secret?
Kind of. I mean, it's not really a secret. It's just that in this instance, you could have challenged them. You could have sent them the Amazon thing and said, I need this today. They make the shit happen. It's called Magic, but I'll make a referral.
So you have to be referred.
Yeah.
You're talking about weed,
No, I'm not talking about that.
prostitutes.
No. No, I'm talking about stuff that you need.
Off the record, Ben. Weed.
No, I don't think so.
I need an ounce of weed right here, right now.
Maybe. They would probably say no. They're like legit
But it's a referral-based concierge.
concierge service. Yeah.
And how did you hear about this?
It was referred to me by a friend of mine, uses them and spends a lot of money with them.
For just anything?
Wagyu steaks, wine.
Is it just because he doesn't want to go anywhere to get it and it's just convenient? Or is this like...
Well, I mean, there might be a butcher shop that's an hour and a half away.
He don't want to drive to.
And you want to drive an hour and a half, go to the butcher shop, pick out your steaks, drive back. I mean, it's a 4-hour deal. Or you call Magic and say, I need it here, and forget about it. They'll say, we're looking into it. In a reasonable amount of time to look into something like that. They'll hit you back and they'll say, okay, we're ready. Here's how much the cost is for the product. Here's how much our fee is. We can have it to you by X time.
And you don't talk
Would you like to accept?
All through text?
All text.
I need a referral here. That's pretty dope. Have they made a delivery to your home?
Mostly when I'm out of town, I'll use them. They have made deliveries to my home. Typically, it's stuff that you're having a good time and you need something. It could be a bottle of wine or a bottle of whiskey or something like that. But dude, I've had them deliver food to me from places who don't deliver.
Wow.
And they are fast.
Really?
Very fast. They have great execution. You can say that you can do something like this, probably fake it for a little while, but these guys execute. If you think about what it is, it's a network of couriers.
Like Uber.
Well, like Uber, but I mean, there are courier services everywhere who can get things. It's just supposed to be a super luxury thing.
You don't use them often.
I use them a little bit.
A couple times a year.
More than that. My friend uses them. He's a super client. I want to say something real quick. I walked out in my yard yesterday, and there is a big stack of firewood. A mystery man has delivered a cord of firewood to my house.
I love him. Who is this mystery
I
fellow?
don't know, dude. I didn't order it.
Paul Bunyan?
I didn't order firewood, but firewood came.
Wow. And you checked your bank statement. There was no firewood.
No firewood charge.
Were you saying like to your wife, hey, we need more firewood, and then some appeared?
We did go through most of my firewood during Thanksgiving.
Okay. So Brittany Griner, the women's NBA star who went over to Russia and was detained and charged with bringing marijuana vape cartridges into the country.
So Griner got caught with 0.702 grams or 0.02 ounces.
One tank?
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
She got caught with a vape.
Yeah, a vape.
A vape pen.
Right. Sentenced to
Right.
14 to 16 years. They appealed it. Her appeal was denied. She's also a lesbian. And as we know in Russia, people who identify as part of the LGBTQ community or lesbian or homosexual, they're not looked upon highly. You sent me an article the other day about him, Putin signing into law saying that people are not allowed to speak openly about their LGBTQ status or even promote that type of lifestyle. You and I have been saying since our episode
we called that.
Yeah.
That was a called shot, dude.
If our tactics would have been adopted.
Dude, this whole Ukraine thing could have been done a long time ago.
But it's not too late. President Zelensky can still take up the ManFUzed mantle.
That's right.
And take our nugget of wisdom.
He might be listening.
Or you know him, get this message to him.
Get this message to President Zelensky.
If you want to embarrass, humiliate Russia.
That's right.
Vladimir Putin, get under his skin like a fungus.
Calls a retreat.
Start executing homosexually charged weapons, which embarrass, humiliate, demoralize.
These are pro-gay weapons. I'm talking about artillery.
We're talking about the Ukrainian rump ranger.
Yeah, I'm talking about the unicorn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. The Ukrainian thundercock.
And they don't even have to explode. I mean, they just have to be big enough that people are going to be able to see them.
What name could we come up with for the weaponized drones?
I think we had a bunch of them.
Yeah, I don't know that we had any for the drones.
Oh, for the drones?
Yeah, like the...
Oh, you could paint the drones.
Oh, yeah.
That would defeat the purpose. They're supposed to not be able to see drones. Drones are for spy.
Okay, no, but they have weapons they shoot.
Like, here's a badass picture of the drone that's coming to kick your ass.
Well, I don't know that but the missile or whatever, maybe have some images.
Yeah, this is all psyops.
No, right before the strike.
Yeah.
Yes.
The most anti-LGBTQ soldiers in the world have fallen victim.
Yes.
They've lost the battle to the floating unicorn.
Yeah, to the floating unicorn. Absolutely. The floating unicorn. Operation Floating Pegasus.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Operation Lightfoot.
I mean, if Lightfoot. See, these tactics, Putin has exposed his weakness.
Exactly.
And that is homosexuals.
That's right.
Maybe he is one himself.
Likely?
Very much so. Maybe he likes the rump ranger.
He might.
But he won't admit it.
No.
And that is a sign of weakness to him.
He's probably just a giver.
No, he's definitely a taker. He is definitely a taker. He is a taker all the way, dude. He's a man of power and stature. He's an idiot. The Ukraine and the U.S. need to start utilizing this tool. Why wouldn't you? How much more money would it cost?
It'd be the most woke thing you could do.
It would send a message
to the woketopia out there. This is how you fight war.
Maybe not every war. If the leader of a country isn't homophobic and has mashed down the rights of all homosexual people and people of that community, then that wouldn't be the tactic to use. But we're talking about somebody that fears.
Yes. The uttering of the word.
He fears all things gay.
All things gay.
All things gay.
He's banned it.
This would humiliate his army, high up ranking.
They wouldn't want to fight.
I don't know that they wouldn't want to fight, but they would sure as hell might start a nuclear war. It might send his ass to press the nuclear button. I can't take it.
These are ideas that we have.
No, I think I'm advising it. That is nothing to the rape and torture and killing of all these Ukrainian innocent citizens that is still going on over there. War crimes at its best.
I mean, it's ridiculous, really.
Ukrainian thundercock. Attack. Attack. Anyway, the reason we're bringing this back up.
Brittany Griner just got sent to like a really bad, like a working camp.
Yeah, they do that. The U.S. has been in talks, back channels, on trying to do a prisoner swap.
Right.
And that prisoner swap has now gone through. Brittany Griner is now home. Welcome home, Brittany. I'm very interested to hear her story and how she was treated over there. Physically, if she was abused, but I'm sure it was mental agony.
Yeah, I mean, when you go, I can never imagine. I mean, you go through things like that, and it just changes your perspective on things forever.
And she's married while her wife has been here, probably praying every day for her release and for her to come home.
For her,
Yeah. I wonder if she's going to come home a different person now. Maybe not the same Brittany Griner that left to go play in Russia.
Certainly not the same. Never be the same, really. I'm sure she will be very grateful. Can't imagine the feeling that she's going to have, how grateful she'll be for all the things that she wasn't grateful for before in her life.
God.
Light switches.
How about good morning?
Or toast. Anything.
So the prisoner swap was for Victor Bout, a.k.a. the Merchant of Death, Lord of War, the Bill Gates of arms dealing.
We get Brittany Griner and we give them the Lord of War.
Yes.
In a situation where they are at war with Ukraine, and it's really a proxy war for the United States at this point because we've spent $70 billion or something like that, and we're going to hand over
Lord of War.
the Lord of War. Why don't you just send us Brittany Griner? How about that?
The arms dealer has been returned to his motherland, and I guess Russia's persistent pursuit of Bout's release, he had links to the country's notorious military intelligence, and I'm wondering if he's going to be received open arms or if he's going to be tortured for what he might have said to the U.S.
Right.
He has been held 14 out of a 25-year sentence.
I would say he's going to be welcomed home with open arms.
Do you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like a hero. This guy, in the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage and Jared Leto, this guy arms all these groups in Africa that go and kill each other, all these militia groups. This guy didn't care who he was arming. He was selling weapons to everyone.
Right.
Working on attacks in the U.S., terrorist attacks. This guy, I heard on the news on the way here, Victor Bout had no idea any of this negotiation was even going on.
Wow.
The U.S. woke him up in the middle of the night and said, grab your shit, let's go.
Wow.
And he had no idea where he was going.
Dang.
That he was getting out. No idea.
Dang.
How crazy is that? And all of a sudden, he's at an airport.
He's been there 14 years.
And all of a sudden, he's at an airport being swapped and handed over.
Wow. They're like, we're taking you home, bro. Be a beautiful moment for both of those individuals.
Brittany Griner, one of the top WNBA female athletes in basketball. But the trade for Lord of War, Merchant of Death.
It's a big trade, dude.
It's not one that's very, if you had to look at the weight of each one.
One person got caught with a vape. The other person is an international arms dealer.
Who has single-handedly been somewhat responsible for the mass killing of how many hundreds of thousands of people because of the weapons he sold.
But, he did only have 10 years left. So he served some time. That's pretty significant. Certainly with what's going on with Ukraine, I mean, it's adversarial at best. So a bad deal is probably all they can negotiate at this point in time. And I significantly doubt it's the commander-in-chief currently sitting in the chair who's making those conversations occur.
He's falling asleep.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's not, he's not some hard-charging negotiator at this point.
Yeah.
He has a lot of power, but I'm sure someone else is doing the talking.
Because he can't really talk too loud.
Well, I mean, if what we see in public is any indication, even half of what the fuck is going on. I mean, I respect the president of the United States no matter who it is.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's like, you look at that situation that's happening and, Russia's an adversary in that situation. I think there's going to be a deal made, honestly. I think that eventually a deal is going to get made where Russia is going to get to take a piece of Ukraine if Ukraine will agree not to join NATO. But I think what they're really pushing for is for Ukraine to join NATO. But I think there could be a deal to stop the war. But Ukraine doesn't want to give anything.
Russia is getting their ass, their losses are significant.
Their losses are significant, but the thing is that they have so many resources. They can just keep sending people. They can keep sending things. And meanwhile, Ukraine's getting turned into a pile of rubble. And people are dying there, too. The numbers aren't as great, and they're fighting, too, and they've got a lot of support. I mean, they've got now weapons support and everything else.
But they're not going to quit. They're not giving up.
But Russia's in your territory. I mean, they're in the line. I mean, you're fighting for your city type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, how long is that going to last?
Well, I don't think Ukraine's giving up.
I don't think they are either. What I'm saying is that I think a deal's going to have to be made. to stop it. And it's going to be a deal where both side gets a win and both side gets a loss to stop it.
But whatever the loss Russia takes, it's not going to be shown to the Russian people as a loss. It's going to be packaged in a way where he still looks like he came out ahead.
Well, there's a part of Ukraine that borders Ukraine, that borders
Crimea?
Russia, right, where people speak Russian, and there are a lot of people in that region who want to be a part of Russia, and they don't want to be a part of Ukraine anymore, okay? I mean, guys got the area that you came for.
But don't they already have it?
The part of Ukraine that borders Russia, I think it's the western side, there are people there who want it to be part of Russia. For what's going on now, they're all the way in to Ukraine. So a deal where Putin would win something would be able to say, hey, look, carve off that piece, got support there, the whole thing stops. You know what I mean? The question is, will they just keep coming over time? What's the final solution for Ukraine? Is it joining NATO?
Vladimir Putin does not want in
Because,
any which way.
because that is, that's fist talk as far as Putin is concerned.
Yeah, he doesn't want any part of that. He doesn't want it to be any closer to him than it already is.
So the question is, would the Ukraine agree to surrender going to NATO and giving up a piece of Ukraine for the thing to stop?
I don't know. It doesn't really look like Zelensky's wanting to any part of any of that.
No, it doesn't.
And if I was him, I don't know that I would be either. It's a cold winter in Ukraine right now.
It's a cold winter in a lot of places right now because of their dependency on Russian oil.
Well, and the Russians keep targeting, water, power, things that in a cold winter you rely on.
And it's cold over there. I mean, like Germany, for example, is on the same line of latitude that Canada is on. It's cold.
Well, let's wrap up this week's episode of the ManFUzed podcast. Check out our ManFUzed Gear. It'll be in the episode link. Listen to us. Available wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, you name it.
Get some gear.
Get some gear, support the show. If you want to join the show, hit us up at manfused.com or hit us up at 770-744-5227. You can text us or leave us a voice message.